Hello everyone, welcome to .NET Mirror channel. Today let's understand how to deploy an ASP.NET application to Azure App Service using GitHub Actions as a deployment option. In this video, we will understand what is an Azure App Service and GitHub Actions. We'll create a basic ASP.NET app. We will try to deploy this app to Azure App Service using GitHub Actions. Before you start, you should have an Visual Studio IDE or any other IDE, Azure account, GitHub account, and basic knowledge of ASP.NET, C Sharp, Azure, and little bit of knowledge on the deployment. Let's understand what is an Azure App Service. It's a platform as a service to build your applications or APIs without managing underlying infrastructure, and you can build your application of own language choice. It could be .NET, Java, PHP, and even you can run the app in containers, which could be Windows or Linux. Any application which you are building, you have to use one of the deployment method to deploy to Azure. It could be Azure CLI, FTP, publish profile, pipelines, GitHub Actions, or many more options are available. But in this video, we will focus on GitHub Actions. Let's understand what is GitHub Actions. It's a it has robust set of features to automate your software development. It contains workflows where you can deploy your application from the GitHub repositories. The key features of GitHub Actions are event driven workflows where you can go and create workflows, such as whenever you push the code or whenever you approve the pull request or issue creations, you can write workflows to trigger and deploy your applications. And within these workflows, you have to define the YAML, which should be defined in repository, and the folder structure should be .github/workflow. Within this, you can go and create the YAML files to invoke your events. And it has inbuilt CI/CD capability where you can build, test, and deploy your applications using pipelines. And it supports multi-environment. It could be Windows, Linux, Mac OS, and even you can create your own self-hosted runners. So these are the different set of GitHub Action features. Now, when it comes to GitHub Actions for app service, it's very good for .NET applications where you can automate CI/CD for your applications within your GitHub repositories. With this, you can build and test deploy your .NET applications, and you can use a lot of features like pull request, different set of branches, issues, and all that you can do with GitHub Actions. And whenever you are creating a workflow to deploy your app, this is one of the sample workflow. uh, this is the template which contains name, and whenever you push a code to the main branch, it automatically runs this workflow. And when it runs this workflow, it basically build and test your applications. It says runs on, it's Ubuntu, you can have Windows as well. And also it uses set of templates like where it goes and downloads .NET SDK, and it restores all your application dependencies, and it will build your applications, and finally it deploys your applications. This is the sample template which you have to create if you have to use GitHub Actions within your application. We will look at a demo where, let's assume that a developer is there. He's creating an application of .NET Core. Whenever there is a code push to the GitHub, and whenever you push any small change to a master branch, it triggers a workflow using GitHub Actions. It builds and deploys your application and deploy to Azure App Service, which is consumed by your users. Now let's get into the demo. First, go to Visual Studio, create a new project. Let's click a Blazor web app. Let's go for .NET Core web app. Let's call it as DNM GitHub Actions demo. Let's use .NET as a LDS. Just go and create it. So now it creates an solution file. Let's run your app. In the meanwhile, let's go to the Azure and create an Azure App Service. Let me log. I already logged into my Azure portal. Let me go here. Let's create a resource. So now we will create a Azure App Service, which is a free service plan. So now if you see here, our local app is running. If you see here, this is a local host running under 7249 port where you can see home page and the privacy page. Now let's stop debugging and let's go back to our portal. Let's create a web app. I will just use my existing resource group. You can create your own. Let me call it as DNM GitHub Actions. Let me remove this unique identifier. Let's select .NET 8, which we selected before, and Windows. Let it be Canada Central, but you select your own nearest region. For the demo, I will not change it. And let me, instead of premium, right, let me select a free. Make sure that you are selecting a free version if you are practicing it. I'll not change anything. Let's go to database. I'll not create any database. Uh, this is one other option you can start, but I will not do this option. You can enable and directly put your GitHub account and start using GitHub Actions. But I will let me show you programmatically. I'll go to networking. I'll not change anything. Let it be public. We don't need any Azure App Insights. I will not enable any App Insights. No need of tags. Let's create the app service. Make sure that you check what is your pricing plan. So I picked up free, and let's create this. So it takes couple of minutes. Meanwhile, let's go back to our application, local application. So this is our local application where it's a sample app. It contains couple of pages: the index page, home page, and the privacy page. Now what we will do is, in order to use GitHub Actions, right, first you have to move this code to your GitHub repos. So make sure that you have your account. Now let me push my code. You can go here in the down, it says add to source control. Click on Git. I already connected to my GitHub account .NET Mirror. Otherwise, if you are not connected, it will ask for a login. You can authorize it, and from there on you can push your code. Mine is already logged in. Let me push this. It says private. Let me make it to public so that everyone can see my code. Let me push this. So now in the background, it is trying to push all my code. It takes a minute or two. Let it run. In the meanwhile, let's go back to Azure. If it is done, yes, your service is created. Now if you go and just browse the application, so now our app is up and running. Now to use GitHub Actions, publish profile is mandatory. Download the publish profile, but it says you cannot use if basic authentication is disabled. Let's go and enable. Go to configurations. Just select this SCM basic authentication. Click on apply so that you can download publish profile. So it's done. Let's go back. Download publish profile. So publish profile contains confidential data to put your app to here. So don't share it with anyone. So my file is also downloaded. Let's go back to my repos. Now in the repository, so you can see our code is pushed. Let's go here. So there is a clear documentation available within Microsoft documentation. So we have skipped this step. This is one of the option. The next step is we have to download the publish profiles. We have done that as well. Now we need to go and create a secret within our repository with the name of this one. So let me copy this. So let's go to our repositories, go to settings, go to secrets and variables, actions, new secret, new secret, give this value, and the downloaded publish profile, you have to take the complete value of publish profile, paste it as a value, add this secret. Now our secret is added. To start your GitHub Actions, you have to go to the code. As we discussed in the PPT, you have to go and create a YAML file within this repository. So let's go and create this directory. Let's create a file. Purpose, let's give YAML file name. We'll say deploy to Azure ML file. And if you go to here, once you put the publisher file, this is the ML file you have to put it. So I already have my ML file. Let me get it. Now let's put the content within the ML file. So within this ML file, it says the name of your app and on push of master branch, and this app name should be exactly like what we created in here. So let's go and copy the name and place over here. The app name should be exactly like your Azure web app, and remaining all settings you can take from MSDN documentation. What it does is it's going to download the SDK. It builds and publish your app to Azure, and it is using our app name. It is from the secrets. This is the important thing. Actually, we have placed entire our publish profile to secrets, and whenever this workflow runs, it uses these publish profiles and goes and deploys. So let's say commit this change. Added ML file. So commit directly to master branch. Let's commit this. The ML file is committed, and let's go to the actions. Now, if you see here, if you go to the actions now, this is the name of our ML file. Now, if you see here, it started running our workflow. If you see, is trying to build our application. If you click this one, you can see all list of steps. Now it is setting up .NET Core. It builds and publish. It goes and deploy. It goes and do some post checks once the application is done. And once everything is successful, this is our current app. Once it builds and deploy, your app comes here. Let's wait for a minute. Let's wait for this all the steps to complete. In the meanwhile, if you want to understand basically the YAML file, it says what is the name of your YAML file on push of your code, what should happen, and within the jobs, it builds and deploy, right? It will be running on Windows latest version. It could be Ubuntu as well. It says on checkout of your main branch, the actions will be triggered, and there are two things here. One is basically it will go and if you go to the ASP.NET Core, right? So it goes and set up your .NET Core. These actions, basically GitHub itself has these workflows. It will reuse these workflows. It goes here. This is one of the actions which has to run your entire .NET, right? It uses all your packages and requires things to run your application. Like that, there will be one more like Azure Web App Deploy, right? It has the entire template actions where it goes and deploys to Azure in the background. So let's see what is the status of our build. So it's got failed. It says deployment failed. Authorized, failed to resource, failed to get. It says run Azure Web Deploy using a failed to set resource details. Let's go to the secrets. Let's go to the repositories, GitHub Actions. Let's go to the settings. So let me re-download the publish profile once. We put the value again. Not downloaded. Let's do a small change so that our pipeline will start. Let's go to the actions. Here now build is queued. Now if you look at it, our build is succeeded. I just did small change to initiate our workflow. I did a change in error.html. Now there was some error. I have just re-downloaded my publish profile and I again put it back the secret. Now it is working. Now if you see all my steps, all got succeeded and it is deployed also. Now if you go and refresh the app, now the app is deployed and running on Azure. Now whenever you go and let's go and do some change. Let's go back to the code. Now let's go to the code. Let's go to the pages, the index page. We will change the content of this. We'll say welcome to Azure App Service deploy with GitHub Action. So we are making some change so that whenever you do commit the change to welcome page. We'll say updated title on home page. Now we are making a change and directly coming to a master branch. So automatically your GitHub Actions workflow will be initiated. If you go to Actions, automatically if you see your updated title on home page, right now the build is queued. It takes a minute. It goes and deploys your changes with this, right? So you can focus on your building the applications. Whenever you make changes, automatically it will integrate the code. It will check, do the all checks, and automatically deploy to Azure. So this is one of the option, a very useful option, which is open source. You can use it to deploy your applications to Azure. Let's wait for a minute. Let's see how our change goes. So setup job is done. Our checkout is done. Now it is trying to set up the .NET Core. It is trying to install all the relevant files. Now it is trying to build and publish the app. Now if you see here, our title change on the home page, the build is succeeded, the all steps are done. Now if you go and refresh your page, automatically see welcome to Azure App Service with GitHub Actions. With this, right, you can go and do the application changes with GitHub Actions. Automatically it goes and deploys to Azure. So this is the way I have done is I took an workflow. I mean here where you have to define a workflow, you have to work on this YAML file, but there is a straightforward option which you could do. What you can do is you can go to your deployment center. In the deployment center, you can select GitHub, and you can go and sign into your account. You can select your, because I already logged in, it is trying to select this. Once you authorize it, right, I mean, once you have an application, you don't need to do anything. Everything will be done by here. It only creates ML. It downloads the publisher files. It puts in secret. Everything it will be done. It will be easy. But if you want to understand and do in a better way, go and do manually. Create your own ML file. Put it in the GitHub workflows and start changing the ML file. You will understand how it works. With this, we are done with the demo where we have created an application, run it locally, push the code to GitHub repos, create an YAML file. Within that, we connected to our Azure web app. We put our publish profile as a secret. Whenever we make a change, it is automatically triggering your workflow. It deployed to Azure. Now let's go back to the PPT. Yeah, so there are some reference links which are available, which will be useful for you, which already I have put it here. One is I'll put in the video description. I wrote one of the article end to end. I mean, this contains basically doing the other way of steps. Basically, you can go and go to the deployment center, select GitHub Actions. You can select your repos. Automatically you have to select what is your repository branch, and whenever you make some changes, I mean, it does everything in the background. You don't need to worry about writing YAML file and all. Everything will be done. You can refer this entire article. I will put all these links in the description. Thanks for watching the video. Please click the like button if you like this video. Share with your friends. Click on bell icon if you want to get my new videos. Thanks for watching.